Yo, what's good? This is Hollywood Cole, and this is Studio Sessions with Kirk Studios. I'm originally from the West Coast, man. I was actually born in Seattle, moved to Boston, lived in Boston for about like 10 years, but then I wanted to move into Virginia. So originally from the West, migrated to the East, and then came to the South. With me, man, I think my parents played a real pivotal point as far as just like music and just like my background. Like I heard everything from like Ella Fitzgerald to like Jay-Z to Hootie and the Blowfish to Miles Davis. So I kind of had a really eclectic kind of music background. And then when I was in college, I started DJing. So when I started DJing, that's when I got introduced to like DJing, but also got introduced to FL Studio, which a lot of producers are familiar with, and a lot of people start making beats on FL Studio. When I first started making beats, it was never like, oh, I'm trying to be a producer, I'm trying to be that. Bro, I was in Virginia staying with my moms. I was just making beats, coming back from college, going back to mom's house, just still cooking up. But it was just like an inner child thing for me. It was just fun. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of fun to want to learn how to like chop samples and stuff like that. And I really just kind of just kept progressing. And then I wound up getting an internship out here in Atlanta. My first internship was at Mean Street Studio for Drama and Cannon. So like, I just kept progressing, bro. If I had to give myself a sound, I would say it's something that, you know, it's something that's old school, but it's new. So you may get some old school sample chops, but you're gonna get some hard trap drums, or you're gonna get some hard modern drums, or even I may flip it and do some old school drums with new samples. You know, it kind of just depends, but I never wanna box myself in, but if I had to, I would say old mixed with the new. I don't really have like a set kind of way that I do things musically. Sometimes I'll start with drums. Sometimes I'll just make a whole bunch of drum loops and just try to make some fire drums, because I feel like that's like the most important thing, because that's what moves us. And then you also, you know, the melody is kind of like the icing on the cake. But I just think for me, sometimes it's a sample. I may get on YouTube, listen to old 90s samples, or what I'm listening for as far as like samples, I mean, it just gotta be something distinct, something that's fire, something that moves you, something that has emotion, you know, so something that has a feeling. And then I just kind of go from there.
Hey, the blues is now kicking and dinner is 3 Michelin. I don't eat red meat, but still got.
When I made that, it's funny, I actually made that beat in LA at my boy's crib, my boy Zan, and I was just kicking it at his crib. I really made that beat for Kendrick. Like, if you really listen to it, it's kind of got like a West Coast kind of like bop. But yeah, I made that beat for Kendrick, and this is around the time when I first met Boy Wonder. I was like, yo, I got this beat, I just want you to hear, because he was working with Kendrick at the time. So I played it for him. I kid you not, I probably played like, I don't know, like 5-10 seconds of the beat. He was like, let me get that beat. And then he sent it to Drake. Not for Kendrick, but he sent it to Drake. And so, yeah, shout out to Wonder, man. That's a cool cat right there. But yeah, he's the one who sent that to Drake for me.
That stand me down just came to see me. Chopping up a little cash cow, that steak I'm eating.
So if I'm, right now in today's time, I would probably go with, I'm going with Pharrell and I'm going with Jay-Z. I feel like you can't go wrong with that combo. Me and Pharrell making beats, and then Jay-Z, we gonna make a smacker. Easy. Me and my boy Jack Harlow, we had dropped a project called Jackman this year, rap project. But yeah, Madden picked it up. Shout out to my publishing company, but Post had they made that play, and yeah, man, they rocking with that. They don't love it, so. I think I would say the most important thing in the business, man, is having, first and foremost, you want to have a lawyer. And also, just having a team. I mean, you can't do everything by yourself, so I would say definitely having a lawyer, first and foremost, and just having a team that's somebody who can help you with, you know, trying to get placements and you know, which is really your manager. So really just having a really strong lawyer and having a strong manager. And do your own research, you know? Don't just leave everything up to them. Like, you know, it's a lot of information, man, you can find on YouTube. It's a lot of books that you can read. So I would just say, like, definitely, like, if you want to get in this business, definitely, you know, do your due diligence too and study up. If you get a chance to meet a Boy Wonder or a Hit Boy or Don Cannon, you know, you want to make sure that you talk to them, you know, just reach out and send them ideas and push yourself, you know, because closed mouths don't get fed. So if you don't say anything, then it's just like people they have no idea what's going on. So I would just always say, man, push yourself and don't be afraid. Like, you know, you got to be able to jump. You know, you can't just don't be stagnant. You got to make sure you jump.